The last couple of classes we just saw the introduction.
So today audio seems to be little less, I think.
Audio is less?
Or today's audio seems to be little feeble.
So last couple of weeks we saw the importance. I just wanted to give the context of what is Shiksha and why it is important. So from now on, from here on, we'll move forward. So, is anyone familiar? Is anyone a musician here? Like anyone play musical instrument, especially the wind instruments? You can unmute and talk.
This is Uma, and I've tried to play the flute.
Try to play what? Flute?
The flute. The flute.
Yeah.
That's a wind instrument.
Yeah, flute is very helpful to understand the human sound system. Right? The human sound system, which consists of what? How is the sound produced in a human body through human vocal apparatus? Like, what are the different vocal apparatus?
Like air passes through it.
Okay, in short, I mean, you see the slide here on my screen, which consists of the voice box and this wind tunnel coming through the throat and then opening in the mouth and also the nose. So this is basically the main setup or arrangement what we have in the human body to produce a sound, which is much similar to like a flute. You can think a wind instrument. So what happens in the wind instrument? Like we have a pipe, right? We have a pipe, and then there are holes there in the flute, and then we close those holes at different positions. Different holes we close, and by different amount also we close, produce different sounds. Similarly, the wind coming out through this our windpipe comes out and passes through the tongue, and if there is no stoppage anywhere, it will pass through directly. And similarly, similar to the flute, we can try to stop the wind at different positions by different amounts to produce different kinds of sounds. So this is the basic instrument we have, so which has been given to us, and the human body possesses it. And we as human beings, we are making use of that in a very sophisticated manner without us even realizing how sophisticated it is. Now additionally, we have this voice box, so which gives a specific or a very special character for the sound produced by each human being. So what everybody talks doesn't have the same character. Like it has a special tone, a special style everybody speaks, or a special hue. So that is given by this voice box. Right. So now, as it is, just before we move on to this vowels, a little deeper view into how this sound is produced. So on the surface of it, it looks like the sound originates from the throat or the voice box, somewhere near that, and then passes through the mouth or the nose, and then by different stopping or different articulation, different sounds or different consonants and different ways different sounds are pronounced. However, maybe the medical science also, I'm not sure about the modern medical science, but in our Shiksha or phonetics, the ancient Sanskrit literature what we have, Shiksha Granthas or Shiksha books or works, it is defined that as to produce a sound, to produce a letter, coordination is needed by different things. So what it says is the Atma. Atma means the one self, we can call it soul or something. The one which is the energy or the soul, Atma, which is inside the body. So that has to first determine to talk, to speak. So once it determines to speak, then it has to decide what to speak. So that comes with in coordination or in association with something called buddhi or intellect. So this Atma in coordination with buddhi decides what to speak or to speak and what to speak. And then once it decides to speak, then the Indriya means the different, there are different Indriyas we have. What is Indriya in English?
Body parts or organs.
Organs, all right, organs. Yeah, the organs we have, so there are sensory organs and also motor organs, right? So the sensory organs are like what the inputs we get from outside world, like eye, ear, nose, etc. And there are motor organs with which we do the things, do the work. So one of them is also mind. Like the different motor organs are like we have the hands and the different things with which we do the work. So one of them is mind. This mind is a special organ. So, but anyway, so to keep it short, the buddhi and the Atma together decide to speak and what to speak, and they instigate this mind, because everything has to work through these organs only. The body has to work through the organs, either input or output. So here the mind comes into picture. It has to pass to the mind. Then once it passes to the mind, then it instigates something called Kayagni. If I write it here in Devanagari, you can understand. So these are in the book also. If you want to refer to in the book later, you can do that. So here Kayagni, which is, I'm not sure there is an equivalent word in English, but this is something called bodily fire, or you can also equate it to prana. Prana actually is a kind of vital energy which is in the body. It's a vitality in the body. So the mind tells this prana or Kayagni to start the process, which will in turn push the air, the wind. Wind comes into picture here. In Sanskrit it's called marut, or the wind. So that wind in turn starts the entire whole process. So the Atma, Buddhi together instigate in the mind, and that mind, it is telling the prana or the Kayagni, and it in turn starts the wind or the marut or the air in the body, and this will start the process of speech of any letter. Now where will this originate? The very first time, not where we think or what is commonly perceived as, like near the voice box, which vibrates and produces the sound. So that comes much later. So this part, if I just draw the body as like a cylinder here, okay, so somewhere near the nervous base, the nervous system from top to bottom, from the brain to runs through the body, and near the base of the nervous system, the speech starts. Okay. This part of the speech here is not audible. It's not audible. We can't hear it. Nobody can hear it. But conceptually, it starts there, and then it travels up. The wave travels up, and then it comes to the navel, and then the heart area, and then it reaches the throat area. So there are stages in producing a sound in a human being, because human being is assumed to be a special kind of animal with a special powers. So there is a special process has to go on here. So at this stage, at the very nervous base, the form of the speech, which is very minute and which is not audible, it is named. It has also named the name or the speech. What is present there? It is named as para. Okay? It is called para. Para. Then if it reaches the nabhi or the navel area, it is called pashanti. Pashanti. And then when it reaches the heart area, it is madhyama. Madhyama. So let me write this in English a little bit. So para, and this one is pashanti. So keep on writing this. And here is madhyama. All these forms of speech, stages of speech, are not audible, at least to the common human being, common person. Some people who meditate a lot, they are set to hear or experience, at least here means may not be through the external ear, but experience these stages also, which I am not sure, I don't know. So that's what is said. So then until here it is madhyama. Then when it comes to this stage, then it is vaikhari. Vaikhari. Then this is audible, or it can be experienced by us. This is a normal, or vecta. Vecta means which is expressed, which can be expressed. This is an experienceable state. Huh?
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
This pashanti is mental sound?
Mental means in the mind, you mean? Mental means in the mind.
Pashanti. And madhyama is a slight sound through the tongue. Slight sound which we can hear ourselves.
No, we can't hear it ourselves.
Madhyama. So what is
the
quality of madhyama?
No. So this parapashanti madhyama, they are still inside. We can't hear them. They are said to be only experienced by yogis. There are again different stages of yogas, meditations. The deeper meditation, there is super deep meditation, and so nirvikalpa, vikalpa samadhi, and all that. So I don't know. I'm not experienced in that. I can't talk about it much. So, but until madhyama, they are not. They are all inside. They are not. Only when it comes to Vaikhari onwards, we can experience and we can work with it. So when it reaches
फुटफुटणे ह्याला काय म्हणतात? फुटफुटणे आपल्यात फुटफुटणे मराठीत जे फुटफुटणे म्हणतात त्याला मध्यमा म्हणायचं.
इट्स स्टील वैखरी कारण तोंडाने बोलतो. वी स्टील स्पीक यूज
नाही, पण ते आपल्यालाच ऐकू येतं, दुसऱ्यांना नाही.
स्टील इट इज अ व्हेरी लो टोन साऊंड. Still it is Vaikhari, it is not Madhyama. Putne jari asla tari.
Also somewhere it is said that if you close your ears and talk, what you hear inside, that could be called Madhyama. But I don't know. That is what I have read about Madhyama. If you close your ears and talk, you see something different inside.
True. It's perceived with the internal senses, not with the external senses, like a ear, not heard by through the ears.
Like the Brahmari breath, with the bee breath, when you experience that.
No, that's still not Vaikhari. It's inside, experience inside.
Anyway, what we can work with is only Vaikhari.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, so given that, so with this speech apparatus what we have, and speech or the letter ready to come out, and it has passed to the 3 stages and it has come to this last stage and ready to come out. Now we have different ways to modify it or modulate it. Now there are different works on Shiksha, a lot of works on Shiksha. It is not only Paniniya Shiksha. There are subjects on this, the subject of Shiksha or the pronunciation is dealt within the Vedas also, which are called Pratishakyas. Pratishakya, the name itself indicates Shakha. So the different Vedas have different Shakha, means branches. So different branches, many branches have their own like a small portions or like a manual handbook indicating how to pronounce different words or different letters within that shakha or the branch. So this pratishakyas like Taitiriya Pratishakya and etc., they are specific to that particular branch. Many of these pratishakyas also.
It is Pati or Prati? Prati. Okay.
Pratishakya. So this Pratishakya, so they many of them, they also specific in the sense they not only talk about the letters, but they give the examples of the words from those specific branches also. So they are very, very specific to those branches. But in general, those principles can be used to talk or to speak other letters also. So they take the examples of those particular words appearing in those branches. But generally as a letter, the principles can be used and applied for general letters also, other than the Vedas also. Now, outside these Pratishakyas or Vedas, there are other works on Shiksha, like Naradiya Shiksha, like there are a lot of them. There are Katyayani Shiksha and so on. But the most used one or popular one is again Paniniya Shiksha. Paniniya Shiksha. And also there is one called Apishala Shiksha. Now Paniniya Shiksha, the book or the composition has also two forms. Like there are two versions of it. One is like in the shloka form, which has like about 60-65 shlokas. The other one is like a sutra form. There are about 30-35 sutras. Sutras are like a one-line compositions. So there are two versions. Also, it is not sure whether Panini himself wrote it or whether it was the same Panini who wrote Ashtadhyayi. It is not clear. Probably Panini himself did not write this Paniniya Shiksha in the form what is available today, because there are verses in that itself indicating that it was not written by Panini himself. Anyway, however, that what is available as Paniniya Shiksha is very useful because it also looks at it combines different other Shiksha works for different Pratishakyas and makes it very usable for a day-to-day study, our work. Okay, so coming to this part here, this apparatus what we have, just like a flute, there are different holes and we can stop the air at different positions to produce different sounds. Similarly, we have this apparatus and this is the pipe. Think that this is the pipe and also there is a second pipe also. The air can pass through the nose because here in this part, there are two exits here for the air. One is this one. There are some doctors on this team, so they can explain more if possible, or if this is accurate. So there are two exits basically here. One is through the mouth and other is through the nose. So we are able to control, at least to some extent, what should be the exit of the air here, how it should be exited. And additionally, on the flute we use the thumb or the fingers to close the holes. So here, to restrict the airflow, we can use the tongue. Different parts of the tongue can be used, and also there is another part we can use, which is the lips, to stop the air. Right? The tongues and the lips. The tongue and the lips can be used to stop the air at different positions. Now, practically speaking, the air can be stopped at any position. So there are infinite number of positions it can be stopped, and that's why there are so many languages, so many accents throughout the world, right? So there are so many accents, so many different ways to speak, so many different sounds are there. However, what Shiksha defines in Sanskritam, it has identified certain positions in the mouth where the air can be stopped. And why it has identified those positions? Because when the air is stopped at those positions, the sound is clear, or it can be stopped there clearly, consistently. So while studying Shiksha, basically we are studying where the air can be stopped, air stopping positions. So, or simple, we are going to call it positions, air stopping positions, or in Sanskrit Shiksha it is called sthana. Sthana means, it should not be confused as where the sound is originating. It is just where the air is stopped to produce the sound. When the air is stopped at that position, that particular sound can be produced. That is the sthana, because all the sounds are originating coming through the skandha or the throat only. But when the air is stopped, a certain sound is produced. So that is the sthanam. And then the second thing what is important to understand in producing a certain letter sound is instrument, or in Sanskritam is karanam. Here it is sthanam and karanam. Karanam is an instrument. Here basically our instruments are only two. One is this tongue, right? The tongue and the lips. Now the tongue, what part of the tongue is used to stop the air? So that what part is instrument. Okay. So within the cavity where it is stopped, that is the sthanam, and which part of the tongue is used to stop is instrument or karanam. And then also these are the two most important things. And there is a third part which we are going to study is what is called effort. Effort or prayatna. Effort or prayatna. So what kind of effort is needed to produce that sound? There are different kinds of effort, which are different classifications are there, which we'll see when we study each letter. We'll stop here for a second, and then any questions? Okay. All right. So what are these? These are the different positions defined as per the Shiksha. Again, so these are the defined positions to produce clear sounds. In theory or even in practice, the air can be stopped at infinite number of positions, producing different kinds of sounds, which we can hear in different languages. But here, talking about this Sanskritam area and the Shiksha, as per that, there are defined positions for clear articulation of the sounds. So, one is near the back of the throat, or back of the tongue, or back of the throat, or the root of the throat. And this one is, if you know the English equivalent of this, can you please,
palate.
You can speak.
Palate.
This is called talu in Sanskritam. It's called palate?
Yes, part of the palate.
How did we write this?
Palate.
Okay. P-A-L-A-T, palate. And this is the back of the throat. I'll just call it root.
It's soft palate, I think.
Yeah,
soft.
the area you are pointing is towards the soft palate.
The violet is hard palate and the blue is soft palate.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, the hanging part is the soft palate and the bony part is the hard palate.
And what about this one? This is.
It's also the anterior part of the hard palate.
Mahodaya, the kanta in English is called guttural.
Yeah, this is actually guttural. This is very deep inside. I'm talking to very deep here, not may not be this one, deep here. So guttural. Is it called gutter?
It's the back of the throat.
Yeah, back of the throat. Just leave it like that.
Gutter.
And then talu is the palate, and then we have this murdha, which is the roof. Murdha is the roof, roof or the top part.
Cerebral.
The
Cerebral. The letters coming out of sounds coming from here are called cerebral sounds. And then there is the back of the teeth, back of the front teeth.
Dentals.
Yeah. The back of the teeth or front teeth. Back of
upper teeth.
Upper teeth. Yeah. Back of upper teeth, or it's back of the top teeth, or in some
Dantyah.
Danta. Danta is the tooth. And then we have the lips. The lips also. Lips is another position, defined position.
Labial.
To stop the air. Voshtha means lip. So these are the defined positions. Now we'll see how these are. We have to experiment and see. Whether these are actually correct and how these can be applied when we are trying to produce the sound. So the very first sound is we want to relax all the organs. One organ, see, we have the tongue here. Okay, so we have two types of sounds. One is vowels, another is consonants. So vowels are called swara, and this is vyanjanam. Swara and vyanjana. Vowels, which are called swara in Sanskritam, and consonants are called vyanjanam. Vowels are called swara, and in Sanskritam every word has to have a meaning, right? So I don't know why a vowel is called vowel. Anybody has an idea? In English, not a swara, but in English, why is it called vowel? I don't know. They can be freely pronounced, but why are they? What is the etymology of vowel? I do not know. But swaraha, in Sanskritam, everything has to have an etymology. So here swaraha is, there are a couple of ways to understand what is a swara. Swara is swayam rajante is a swara. Swayam means on themselves, rajante means they can be expressed by themselves without the help of any other sounds. that is a swara, or swasmin ramante, swayam ramante, that is also another etymology. Swayam ramante or swasmin ramante. So they are self-sufficient. Whereas Vyanjanam and consonants, so they need help. So if in Indian languages, some of the Indian languages, we have Vyanjan. Vyanjan means something in food. Food we have Vyanjanam, right, while eating. In Bhojanam or food, we have Vyanjanam means something like a pickle or a chutney. So that is a Vyanjanam which is not independent, right? Not independently used. So here also Vyanjanam is not an independent sound. It needs help to some other help. Some other means especially the vowels help. The help of the swaras to get out of the mouth, to pronounce. Now coming to swaras, vowels, which by definition they do not need any help. They can be pronounced independently. So how independently? Independent of what? Independent of any touch of the tongue. That's what we are talking here. Huh?
Independent of karanam.
Karanam, yes, independent of instrument. Now we'll see. So we can make a table. If you have, the table is also available in the book, but you can also make the table right now. So the throat, what you can make, the columns there is throat and tongue position. Tongue position while pronouncing a different sound, how it will, in what position it will be, and also the shape of the lips. So lips also play a role here. Now the throat, we are going to say whether it is relaxed or tense. Relaxed or tense. Throat means what? The muscles in the throat. So maybe you can place your fingers around your throat or on your throat and try to experience that. When this is relaxed, when the tongue is relaxed means in the natural position, so do not move anywhere, and the lip is slightly open. Lip is natural position, slightly open, and push the air. So how does it sound like? Anjali Bhagini?
Oh.
So that is
Relaxed.
Relaxed. Everything is relaxed. Tongue is relaxed, natural position. Lips in the natural position, relaxed, slightly open because the air has to come out. And the throat is in the relaxed, throat muscles in the relaxed position. Everything is relaxed. So this is the most natural sound a human being can produce. This is the most relaxed sound, natural sound. Okay. With the muted lines, everyone can try this. So keep it relaxed, and for the English speakers, this is something that which you can relate to the sound in cup. Cup. When you pronounce cup, the sound which is made after that k sound, first k sound, that sound, is similar to this what we are talking about. Sound. Lips in natural position, tongue natural position, and throat relaxed. So air directly coming out. No stopping, no restriction, nothing anywhere. Then what is the next variation we can make? Again, everything same, no change, but open the lips wide vertically. The next position, throat also relaxed and tongue in natural position again, no change, but lips open vertically.
Ah.
Yeah. Open wide, lips, open the lips vertically. This is ah. Now the next variation, what is the equivalent sound in one of the English words for ah?
Car.
Huh?
Car.
Okay, car. The car. You sometimes know what, if you are coming from this Indian language origin, the way we pronounce some of these words might be different, because we are used to these kind of articulation with these tongues in the Indian words, Indian language words. But some of these pronunciations by others who are not exposed to Indian language words might be slightly different, but that will closely match at least. Then the next variation we have is throat. We are trying to pronounce the E sound. To pronounce the E sound, the lips are stretched horizontally. Okay? So I'll just write here stretched horizontally. So Anjali, what is the sound, equivalent sound for E in one of the English words?
In.
In. E.
In.
The first I, the first syllable here, E. E. When you are trying to do that, you can experience, compared to and E, what is the difference? E. If you touch your throat, E, you can see that is a slight contraction in the muscles. Is that right? E. E. So that is the tense. The throat muscles are slightly tense, and then the tongue. So
the part of the tongue touches the back of tries to touch the back of the teeth.
Right. So it moves towards the the top part. E. The tip of the tongue moves forward, and when it moves forward means the flat part of the tongue, the top flat part of the tongue, it is raising up. It is raising up, trying to constrict the air. The air is constricted there. The air passage is constricted. It is narrowed. So tongue is raised. This is another vowel which is written in Devanagari like this. This is given a symbol like this in Devanagari. And obviously you can refer to the transliteration. This is given. Is short is this A sound is capital A, and this is I in the transliteration scheme. But anyway, in Devanagari, symbol is given like this and A is given a symbol like this A sound, and E is given like a symbol like this. The next sound is same thing. The next sound, what is defined in the sequence of swaras in Sanskritam or the vowels is the long E or elongated E. The same sound pronounced using twice the amount of time. There's a time factor comes in here. Time factor. So here also it is stretched. Same thing raised, same thing tense, but double the time. Double the time. And the symbol in Devanagari given is like this. E. In Devanagari script. And what is the approximate sound in English word?
Keen.
Key. T.
Keen.
Like tea?
T or key.
Morning tea?
Yeah.
Teeth.
Yes.
Keen. Or keen.
And Sanskrit word?
Ishvara.
Ishvara. So first one, Sanskrit word can be aja. Aja is the first Sanskrit word which we saw English equivalent to cup. And then a, which is like car. Sanskrit equivalent word is
Yes. Yes.
or amra.
Amraphalam.
Amraphalam. Actually, just as an interesting thing, each of these letters, the swaras as well as consonants. There's some echo coming from somewhere. Hello. Okay. Each of these letters, each of these sounds in Sanskrit, they have their own meaning. They stand by themselves with their own words and own meaning. And there is a book called Ekartha Kosha. So if anybody is interested, they can search on the Google and they can find Ekartha Kosha. And it's not a very small book, but for each of these sounds or the letters, there is a list of meanings, and who is the god of each of these letters is also given there. There is some deity for each of these letters also. So all that is given in the Ekartha Kosha. Ekakshara Kosha.
Yeah, I have a question about the length of the long.
About the length.
When you say in English T, is that really a good example for what's happening in Sanskrit? Because I have the impression really in the Sanskrit, when it's the longer sound, it's actually more like 3 sounds. It doesn't match English in other words.
The longest sound is in Sanskritam is what?
It's actually longer than, like, we use our example T. I like this example in versus T because I can hear it because I only speak English. But I think when I listen to the Sanskrit words, it's actually longer.
Yeah, I mean, these what we are talking in English, obviously they are not accurate, and we are just trying to for the people, for some of them may not be right now familiar with the words of Sanskrit. So we're just putting these out there to give some equivalent, some idea of the way it has to be pronounced. Now, about the timing, we'll look at that in detail a little bit later. But right now you can understand the short letters here. They're like So the first one here, and the short one here, E. How long they should be pronounced? There is no, in Shiksha Granthas or Shiksha books, there is no measurement like in terms of seconds, etc. But there is approximate indication has been given there. So that is just measured in terms of units, which is called matra in Sanskritam. Matra is just a unit. So how much is that unit? Is it 1 second, 2 seconds? There is no precise definition there. However, the indication is that in some of the books they say, some of them they say it is the duration of blinking. It's called nimesh or blinking. So that is 1 unit. With 1 unit, this short one should be pronounced. And some of the Shiksha Granthas, when we are talking Shiksha Granthas, means that the author himself, that they are the opinions of the authors, and all are right. So here they say that they give this indication in terms of the birds chirping. There is some bird called blue jay in English. In Sanskritam they are calling it chasha. So exactly what bird this one is not very clear, but it looks like this bird is something like blue jay, which has a blue body and golden crest. So how that makes sound, I have not heard that sound, but how that makes sound, 1 chirp, that is 1 unit. And then the vayasa or the crow, when it chirps like a caw, so that is this one, dirgha, or the elongated sound. Then the mayura or shikhi, which is the peacock, when it makes sound, no, not when it is happy or something, but normal sound, so that is a 3-unit sound, 3 units. That is how it is generally defined, generally indicated. We can take it like that. You can, and somewhere they also, when we say blink of the eye, somewhere it's like you can consider it as like a half a second, or maybe 1 second or half a second. There is no precise definition or precise measurement in terms of seconds there. Just 1 blink of a second. And also this Yajnavalkya Shiksha, it also is a little bit more specific. What it says is this: when we quickly blink an eye to look at a sun ray, so that is 1/4 of this unit, what is called matra of the unit, 1/4 of the unit. And 1 unit, obviously that 1 matra contains these 4 times of that time duration, which is required to quickly absorb the sunlight through the eye. Or we can approximately say like half a second is 1 matra. E. What I'm doing here. Okay, so where E, E. This is the double the time. And then what is the other next variation now?
Ooh.
Oh. So in throat is tense, is not as relaxed as oo, oo. But the tongue is relaxed compared to e. We say oo. The tongue is relaxed in its natural position, relaxed. And the lips, the shape of the lip changes.
Contracted.
It's a rounded or round shape. Because you'll have to let the air out through that rounded, that hole there, the top, the rounded opening. So, oo. Again, there are two variations of oo. One is short, one is long. Double the time is oo. So, rounded oo is represented in Devanagari like this. Just looks like 3. And then elongated oo, double the time with 1 curved line after oo. Oo, oo. So what does this indicate actually? So basically we have only 3 fundamental vowels. Which are they? E, oo. Right? Only 3. E, and oo. So sounded like cup or aja, and e sounded like, what was the English one for e? In, and oo sounded like
Mute.
Urdu.
English word.
Mute.
Urdu, the language.
Some of them may not know. Is there any other word?
Mute.
Put.
No, not mute. Put.
Put.
Yeah.
Put.
So, base fundamentals are only these 3. Right? So other sound like is just the double the amount. Becomes a slight variation with the lips wide open and double the time of And e, this is elongated e, double the time of e, oo, double the time of oo. Base vowels are only 3. E, oo. This is very important. These 3 base or fundamental vowels, they have a lot of importance in the in this Vangmaya, or the collection of sounds, what you call Vangmaya. I don't know the exact translation of Vangmaya. I need muted. Everybody muted, please. Okay. So if you look at now the three other vowels we saw just now were the extensions of these 3 base vowels, right? So one was double the time becomes a, e double the time becomes elongated e, and oo double the time becomes elongated oo. Now moving on to, if we combine these 2, and e, you start saying start saying what is the position of tongue when we say
Kantha.
Yeah, means relaxed. There is no movement, nothing.
No,
the
no.
position of the tongue. The tongue.
No, relaxed.
Relaxed. No change, nothing. But the position of the tongue of when we say is
slightly raised, trying to touch the back of the teeth. Talu. Yeah.
So slightly raised here.
Yeah.
E.
Kantha talu.
Yeah. So this. Yeah. So this is a relaxed position, no change, and this is the tongue is slightly raised here.
Raised.
Right, when you are saying E.
Now
what we are going to do is we are going to try and say these one after another quickly, very quickly, or after E very quickly. When we stop in between and
A.
right. When we stop in between and E, then it sounds different, like E. That's fine. But when we try to combine them together, combine means
I.
So your tongue is relaxed first and immediately move it raised here, just like saying A, but immediately.
I.
Not I. A. Oh.
A.
So it is like aim.
Aim.
Got aim. So this is the A sound. So the tongue is starting in the relaxed position, if you notice that, and it is raising up. A. But it happens quickly. So this is the A, which is represented with this symbol in the Devanagari script, A. So what have we done here now? We have pronounced A and E, or E after A, very quickly. A. So we have modulated. This kind of close pronunciation of one letter after another is called nothing but sandhi. This is the first sandhi we have learned today. This is a sandhi or join. Sandhi literally means join. Join or closeness, proximity. So proximity of letters. Proximity of letters is sandhi or join. So the very first sandhi is join this A or pronounce this E immediately after A without gap. I mean, there will be some gap, but very less gap, one after another. I. Try to bring that. Yeah. Bring this here. So generally, when we say aim, we already do that. Aim, or in Sanskrit, what is the word for aim?
Guna varna?
No. Just with the word with the A letter in it. A sound in it.
Etat.
Eka or etat.
Eshaha, esha, etat.
Eka. Evam. So these are the words, but when we say these words, we are already doing that, but we may not have noticed. So maybe we can take some time and notice how the tongue is moving there. When we say A, the A starts with A, position of the tongue, the A there, then it raises above towards this E there. E. That is very quickly happening there. Aim or Eka. Okay, so we have also started with the sandhi. Sandhi means close proximity between two sounds. Now same thing you can do with same proximity pronunciation. You can do it A and E. This A and E. So what are you going to do? I. E. I. A start with A, quickly change it to E. I, I, I. Which is represent
I.
I. So I should happen very quickly. So there is not much gap. No, do not pause after A. I. Yeah. So, but when we pronounce it quickly, it becomes I.
E will be dirgha. After E dirgha. Hasvaya or dirgha after C.
No, well, see, there is about the duration. There is about the duration. How these Shikshas, Granthas, what they say is, for I is see for A. Let me erase this. For A, which I am writing in transcript as E here, it means A, which is a combination of A plus E. Right? A plus E. Now, how long A should be pronounced within A, and how long should be pronounced? It should be E, which we already know in a way. Like when I say aim or eka, we know that A. But how the books define, how these Shikshakaras, or these authors, they define A is half unit and E is 1.5 unit. Okay. So when we say A, so E portion is more here, okay, compared to A. So A is like, so total is how much? Total units is 2. Total units is 2. We are not going to exceed that 2 units. Okay. So when we say A, just simple A, consider it as 1 unit, A. And when we say A, consider it as 2 units. I mean double this. Like A. Now when you say A, it should be, the total duration should be equal to A, how we say A, like A. But within that, the portion of A should be only half the unit of the total 2 units. And 1.5. That is percentage wise how much?
25/75.
Yeah, 25/75.
Right. 25.
25% is just a quarter, and then other 3 quarters E. So with that combination, but the total unit should be equivalent to A. So start with just a half, just 25%. That's just a bit there. Then change it to E. A. Now similarly, how the I is defined? Again, I also we are not going to exceed total 2 units. Total should be only restricted to 2 units. So I is consisting of R and E. So both are 1 unit. Both are 1 unit. So start with R, E, I. What are the examples here with the words I?
Aina.
Huh? Aikya.
In English, Aina.
English. Is there any English word for I?
Yeah, idea,
idea,
idle,
yeah.
all this.
No, 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 no.
Like.
There's no
Item.
equivalent word. Item. Maybe we Indians pronounce it like that. Somebody is saying no.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. That's right.
Yeah, even the
Ice cream.
there is an echo coming through for somebody. But even I netra is also I sound in English.
Which one? I? Netra? Oh, I. E-Y-E. I don't know exactly how it is.
The sound is the same.
The sound is at least what we from the Indian origin, what we say is similar, but others might different. Petra, how do you say?
Yeah, otherwise we can say ideal, idle.
How do you say?
Idle.
How do you say ice cream?
Yeah, that's also a similar sound.
Ice cream is a sound, not a sound. It is just a.
Iconic.
No.
Icon.
No, still it is a.
Like.
Icon. Okay. Anyway.
Like.
More shorter I than longer I.
Like.
You can say identify.
Like.
It still say I identified.
Like. No, not like.
Light.
Like. L-I-K-E. L-I-K-E. Spike.
Light.
Like. L-I-K.
No.
Light, fight.
No.
L-I-K-E. Like. Spike.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Held will be a sound, but I don't know about I.
Like. Okay. Anyway, I think you get the idea. So here I. So it's a combination
Iteration.
Yeah, I don't know. There are different ways to pronounce iteration or iteration. So anyway, so A plus E, I think you get the idea. A plus E, I.
And Guruji, Sanskrit word Airavat is also okay, right? Here?
Yeah,
Airavat is correct.
Airavat is an apt word here.
Yeah, Airavata. Okay, what is the next sandhi now?
Sanskrit you can even say Aishwaryam.
Yeah, Sanskrit there are many words. But the sound we are talking, Airavata.
Oh.
Okay, next sandhi. Next is a combination of, we saw the combination of combining A and E. And what is the next one? A and U. A plus U.
O.
Ow.
Ow.
Oh, ow.
A plus U, again we are following the similar approach here, how we combined A and E. The first A part is only half unit and the other is 1.5 unit, 75%. O. So in the O, we have the lips rounded there and the tongue in the relaxed position, no change. So we are just changing the lips here from A position to A is normal lips and changing to rounded lips. O. Starting with A, very quickly changing it to U. Yeah, do not stop at the A for a longer time, then it changes to OW. So if we stop at A for a longer time here, that means if we make it 1 matra or 1 unit and this reduce it to 1, this changes it to OW. Whereas if you quickly change, just keep it half, then make this one more, O portion more, then it becomes O, okay? The English O letter. O. O.
Oh. Oh.
O.
Still you have to reduce that sound.
O. O.
O. O.
O.
O.
O represented with
Coat, boat, tote,
goat, goat.
vote also.
In Sanskritam, what is the word for O?
Odanam,
Aushadham.
O is Aushadha. Oshadham is also Oshadha is also there, but
Odanam,
Odanam. Odanam means what?
pure. It's
reading
kind of food. Food. It's
food. Simple food. Odanam. Then there is a Oshtha. Oshtha is also there, which is lip. Oshtha. So that is the another sandhi. We have got A plus U. So there is A plus U. A plus E becomes A. First sandhi we saw. A plus E, I. I is nothing but the longer duration of A. So keep the A for longer time, change it to E. I. Then A, that is the second sandhi. And then we have the third one, we have A plus U, O, which is like in coat. Then the next one, fourth, is again similar to I. We have longer or A plus U. So one unit each. Ow. 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 So ow. So if you keep them a little bit separated, they sound like and oo. Ow. Ow. But combine them quickly, it becomes ow. Ow. So this is represented with this symbol, Devanagari in script. And examples of ow.
Tout.
Aushadham.
Tout.
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 Tout. Tout.
Cow. Cow. Cow.
Cow. Cow.
Tout. In Sanskritam we have Aushadham.
Audaryam.
Audaryam. Aushadham, Audaryam. Okay. So we have Aud here. So in all, how many vowels we have come across so far? Well, and double the time, that is R. Then we have E.
E.
Double the time E.
O. O.
Double the time O. And A.
A. I.
Is a combination of O and E. I. Combination of I and E.
O.
O and U. U. O.
Ow.
And O and I and U. O. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So far. These are the only, basically as we started first, A, E, U. These are the only very fundamental base vowels which are possible, right? So all others are like combinations or variations. I is a double, E is a double, U is a double, A is a combination, I, U, all combinations. A, E, U. So if you combine a, e, u, we have got three other vowels, but we will not touch them today. So they need more explanation. So here, a, e, u, fundamentals of the very basic vowels, and if we abbreviate this series of vowels, which are the base, without any help, without any other support, they are the swaras, right? And if you abbreviate this series, what we get? A plus u. When you combine the first and last, which is the abbreviation, right? How we prepare the abbreviation in English also. Like if we say any abbreviation like whatever AP, there are many abbreviations in English. How we form first letter and the last letter, right? So here also, if we form that similar abbreviation, what do we get? A plus u.
O.
Huh? O. Right?
O.
A plus u.
O.
O. And this, and adding a reverberatory sound to this, so that forms om. Okay? Om. This om is not like om sound. This, how the om sound is pronounced, om, which is like also written like this. What it is, again there are various explanations and a lot of study on om, but just a simple, here I just wanted to bring this in front of you. The very base swaras or vowels, a, e, u, if you abbreviate that, that becomes a, u, which also includes e. In an abbreviation, the middle is also considered, right? So u plus a reverberatory sound, which is called nada, which makes it om sound of the bijakshara, or the very base sound, which is considered to be the origin of all the sounds, or the gist of all the sounds, which makes it's for many people who consider the entire universe as the sound based, which makes it the gist of all the entire universe. That is the how it is based, like a, e, u, which are the basic, very base fundamental, which are not combinations, which are very pure. A, e, u. Okay. Om. And incidentally, this a, e, u, they are also the first letters of each Veda. Okay. Each Veda, starting mantra of each Veda, they start with a, e, u. Should we stop here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So there are three more vowels which will start also studying the next.
Sir, can you explain once again that 20 for A, and you can explain again?
20 for A?
Yeah, I didn't properly understand how the A is constructed. A.
So the base pure ones are a, e, u. We can make the combination of these three sounds by uttering them, pronouncing them one after another, two at a time, one after another. Quickly. So you start with a and then e. So anybody, Anjali, when you want to explain this? If you are already still there. No. How is it combined? Like?
We try to speak, start with a for the half matra and then E is 1.5 matra.
A.
No, what Anjali Pagini was saying, hold on. So,
How does it become A?
When we try to start with O but pronounce for half matra and then immediately say E for 1.5 matra, it becomes A. When we try to pronounce them one after other quickly.
No, I understood, but for I am asking for A.
so Kanta Mahodaya, so you think we have understood right? How is pronounced just so simple that we are not moving the tongue anywhere, relaxed, simple, normal position, regular position, and this E, when we say E, the tongue moves towards this position. That part is clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to start pronouncing but we want to change it to E. We want to pronounce E immediately after starting with If we start with and say E, like E, if there is a gap in between, then we can distinctly hear this and E separately. E. But you start with but very quickly change it to E. Like A. Like you have to experience that where that position of is. Where that position of tongue when you are saying when the position of tongue is neutral.
Neutral,
then,
yes.
Yeah, so from the neutral position we are changing the tongue to this position, raised position, very quickly when we say E. So you can see when so
it can be told A plus E.
Yeah, if you slightly increase the time of this then it becomes A. Then if you raise this to E, you raise this tongue to E position, then it becomes I, right? Because if you are taking a less time for that neutral position of the tongue and changing it to E, then it will become A. Then in the first position, if there is a little bit more time, then
okay.
Yeah. So what you can do, because we are used to this, you can do the reverse engineering. You can say A, and how the tongue is moving. You can say A. So the tongue is initially in the neutral position. But when you are saying only E, it is already in this position.
There's a very bad echo coming from somebody.
I think the echo is coming. I think it is from Nirmala. Okay. Yeah, because we are used to this, we do not easily come to that because we already know A.
Right.
But if you analyze that, if you reverse it, that's why we need reverse engineering because we are already used to it. But for others who are not used to it, they have to understand this first. They have to start it quickly change it to E. E.
Mahodaya. Because of our way. Okay. Continue.
Yeah. Who's in Mangal Bhagin? Yeah.
Mahodaya, if we have to say the word chair in English, the word chair, CH plus AIR. So, is it A in Devanagiri? Chair.
English is, different people pronounce different way. I don't know. We have to ask the English people. So because when we say, because I can say chair, but they will say differently probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so aim is a better word, I think. Aim.
Yeah, but for us it is a better word. But let's see what is there anybody here who want to pronounce chair like Uma? Dhanyawada.
Chair.
Yeah, see.
Yeah,
Uma,
chair doesn't come close to either A or I.
Right. Uma,
It's
can you
actually
pronounce it a little
somewhere
bit
in
louder?
between.
Sure. Let me turn my sound up. Chair.
See,
Can
see
you hear my chair? Chair.
Yeah,
chair,
see that is a little.
chair.
Yeah, that's a little bit different than how we pronounce, right, Mahodaya?
Will air, A in air will be close to what we are trying to say A in Sanskritam?
No, it doesn't. Actually, air and chair come very close, and they have equal these things of and E.
Correct.
So here when we say A, we say it is very short and then E. I, we say very long and then E. So the combination is slightly different.
Okay. How about care? Still, it is a long. Okay. It's not. It's long.
So
that is more like A.
Yeah. So what generally there are like online dictionary, English dictionaries like even Google also. If I search chair on the air, they have this pronunciation icon, right? It also produces the sound. We can hear that, and that is slightly bit different. Like we can, as Uma was pronouncing, it is like a different, like chair or air. There is a transition, some kind of transition. It's not like how we pronounce straight. There is some modulation.
Guruji, you explained about Guruji, you explained about Om. That is A, O, Ma, isn't it?
Om.
Om. How does it come? A, O, Ma.
Not A. It is not A. O, Ma. A plus O.
How many letters are involved in Om, sir?
Huh?
It's Hasa,
in the letter Om. I want the structure of Om.
A plus O plus
U, Ma.
A, U, Ma. Okay, understood. Sir, what about
What is
also is a vowel, isn't it? Samudram,
No, it is not a vowel. We'll study that next week.
Okay.
Dhanyawada, Mahodaya.
Dhanyawada. Namaskara. Puranmadama.
Dhanyawada. Good night, good morning, sir.
Nad means vibration.
Dhanyawada.
Hello?
Oh, hold on.